Are you looking for an activity that's a bit different and you really like stained glass, but you're not so sure that you want to try stained glass? Well, let's try a faux stained glass candle holder, just like this one. I'm going to teach you how to do it. It's easy, it's fun, and it turns out pretty nicely. So for this project, I decided to use a cubed candle holder. I like the design of it and it'll be easier to paint on the edge. And I'm using a sunflower as my symbol because, well, I like sunflowers. These cube candle holders I got at the Dollar Tree for $1.75, and so pretty economical. You need a glass paint. This is, you can see gallery glass, and it comes in the primary colors of blue, yellow, black, white, red, and green. And I needed a brown, so I got a brown as well. This is a multi-surface paint for the face of the sunflower where the seeds are. And you can see I needed a paintbrush because these all have tips to help you paint, but this brown did not, so I'm going to need a paintbrush for that part. So I've washed my candle holders nice and clean, and I'm going to get started. I'm taking the black, which is going to outline the drawing. I'm just going to draw it freehand because I kind of like to draw it that way. And they're not going to be symmetrically perfect, the two candle holders, but that doesn't really matter to me. So I'm just starting to draw a line. I'm going to turn it over in a moment and do the other side, but you can see how it goes, and you make sure on the beveled edge that you make sure that it's a little bit more black than it would be right at the curve. Anyway, so now I am going to start drawing my petals, and they're not perfect. They are just the way I want them to be. I like petals that look different because if you look in nature, they all look different. And they can have imperfections, which is fine with me. Just continue drawing. Just press your glass paint a little bit so that it comes out. You don't have to press hard so you don't get a whole big blob of it. And that's the last petal. And what we will do now is let this dry so that we can paint on it. Okay, so now I'm going to, it's pretty much dry. There is a little, you can see blobs here and there, but that doesn't really bother me. I am going to fix this one where it kind of smudged a bit. Just take a paper towel and rub it off, and it comes off because it's not quite set. And now I'm just going to paint, start with my yellow. Stay within the lines as best you can. When this dries, it will be more in the lines than it looks. Just the way that when you put the paint on, it looks quite thick. And there's a little bit of overlay, which I can fix later or leave or whatever I want to do. I may go back with the paintbrush and take that off. And just go to the tip of each petal to make sure that it's full of color. And you'll see that because of where I did the petals, the way I did them, there is some space between some of them, which makes it look more realistic. And again, you'll get bubbles and little spots that kind of look like they're going to go over the edge, but they don't because they stay within the black. And there we go. So now I'm going to have a look at it. Looks pretty good. And I'm going to let it sit for a second while I get my brown paint and my paintbrush. I'm just using a dry paintbrush to do this. And when I'm just kind of shaking out my paint now, when I'm done, I will wash the brush with water And you can put some on a cloth or on a paper towel like I'm doing, because you don't want it to be as thick as the yellow when you're doing the brown part. And so you just paint it as I am doing here. Going up to the edge and down to the bottom, just filling it in basically right now. And then we're going to go back and give it a little bit of stippling, which will make it a little bit more realistic looking, like where the seeds are. So there we go, just getting to the edge there. Okay, and I'm going to do the stippling, which is like this. You just kind of make dots. And I'm going to take some of the yellow from the petals as well and put this into the brown to make it stand out a little bit. But it's kind of fun. It's just an easy thing to do. Staying within the black. There we go. Kind of fun. And it's a good starter project to use a sunflower because you don't have to be perfect. All that's left to do is to add a little bit of light, and you have a really nice accent for your home that you created and is pretty unique.